This video is over volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. For our first problem, we have a cylinder that has a diameter of 14 and a height of 5. So we start by taking half of the diameter because we only want the radius, and half of 14 is 7. We use our formula, pi r squared h, plugging in our radius for 7 and our height for 5. Solving the exponents first, 7 squared gives us 49, and then we multiply 49 times 5, which gives us 245. We are then going to multiply by pi. The directions do not tell us to use 3.14 or 22 over 7, so that means we're going to use the pi button on the calculator. We end up with 769.6902 and a bunch more numbers. But because the directions tell us to round to the nearest hundredth, 69 is in the hundredths place, 0 tells us to round down, so our answer stays 769.69. For our second problem, we have a cone, and our cone has a radius of 6 and a height of 12. We're going to use our formula, pi r squared h divided by 3, plugging in the radius 6 and the height 12. We solve the exponents first. 6 to the second power is 36. Then we multiply the 36 and the 12 to give us 432. And then we divide by 3 to give us 144. And then we multiply by pi. We use the pi button on the calculator because the directions do not tell us to use 3.14 or 22 over 7. And so when we multiply, we end up with 452.3893 and a bunch more numbers. But because we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, like the directions tell us, 38 is in the hundredths place, the 9 tells us to round up, so we end up with 452.39 for our final answer. For our last problem, we have a sphere. Our sphere has a radius of 6. We're going to use our formula, 4 pi r to the third power divided by 3. We start by plugging in our radius 6. We solve the exponents first, so 6 to the third power is going to give us 216. We then multiply that answer by 4 to get 864. We divide by 3 to get 288. And then we multiply by pi. Do not use 3.14, do not use 22 over 7. The directions do not tell us what to use, so we use the pi button on the calculator. And we get 904.7786, on and on and on. The directions do tell us to round to the nearest hundredth, so that's the 77. The 8 tells us to round up, and so 77 rounds up to 0.78.